Hey, I thought I was live and I didn't hit live. So hopefully it shows live now because I've just been talking to myself trying to figure it out. And Vaughn was checking for me.
Shows live. I don't see video.
Shows live but don't see video.
Is OBS set up correctly?
I'm in StreamYard. Hey Steve, can you see video? Yeah, he can see. I don't know why yours isn't showing. You were so quick to the stream that I hadn't even finished setting up. I was like, wow, that was so quick fast. Basically, I thought I would jump on while Recovery Addict's on a break because I want to talk about this mistrial situation. Hey, Teresa. I was just saying that Steve was so quick that I hadn't even finished setting up. And then I spoke to myself for like 5 minutes because I forgot to click the live button. So, oh, Steve, that's such good timing. I always do that so that I can be the first comment. And then I'll be like, oh, well, he said he was going to go get lunch. And I'll pause, like, I won't refresh. And then I'll go into something and a few seconds later see that he's gone live and I've missed the first one, the first comment. I'll always be like second or third. And then I'm like, I'm not going to right now because my brain needs audio. I just want to say ahead of time that Vaughn's alarm is going to go off in about 35 minutes, and I will need to end the stream then because I have to give the cat her medication and it is 9 o'clock. So I need to get ready for bed. Exactly, Steve the squirrels. I thought I would have my little ranty rant about the mistrial situation because 200 characters is not enough to say how I feel about it. I am frustrated. I think, obviously, it doesn't change my life at all what the system is in the US. It literally doesn't do anything to change my life. But to me, if you have to get a unanimous verdict of the jurors to be found guilty, how did I phrase this earlier? If you have to get a unanimous verdict from the jurors to be found guilty, then if the jurors come back hung, in my opinion, it should be a mistrial and dismissed. If it's called a mistrial because I think Zachariah Anderson's first one was that they didn't submit evidence in time, or what was it? They didn't give the discovery to someone or something. That was Zachariah Anderson's one. This light is about all of the table. Sorry. If it's the lawyer's fault or the judge's fault, sure, retry. But in my opinion, if it's a hung jury, I don't think it should be tried again. I don't think that makes sense at all. And that really just that riled me up today. I got so frustrated. Totally agree with that. States shouldn't get unlimited do-overs if the jury can't decide one way or the other. Exactly. Because if you think about it, even if it was 4-4, you still did not manage to get a unanimous guilty verdict, which is what you need to get to convict. So no unanimous guilty verdict equals mistrial. Done, state did not prove. I think that's the basis, and I don't think it's fair to do it over, especially because I already said over the weekend, I really don't like the idea of trying to sway a juror to be to change their verdict. I don't like that at all. I think that the one advantage of the jury system is that you have differing perspectives. So it should be encouraged that the jury stick to their votes. And by doing it over, you're basically saying that opinions could convict him, not laws, because it wasn't that the laws didn't match, it was that their opinions didn't match the opinions of the state. And I don't like that at all. With the lessers, state wanting to refresh the jury's mind on those when they're hung. And that just, to me, that says, I also realized that with the stream, the live chat takes a while. So I thought like I need to be better at bringing it across. So I don't like going, okay, well, if you can't agree that he's guilty of the first, then give us the what did someone call it? That was super funny, like the participation award. You don't have to find someone guilty of something just for it to be a good system. It's like you can't, justice for Gabriel is not injustice for Mr. Kelly. And I also feel like, given it was 7-1, if they bring it again and he has any physical, like if it has anything, if it does anything to his health, his finances, etc., I feel like he should be able to take them on and get money from it. Like, I don't know if he can file anything now. I don't know about this. I think maybe they were stuck with the fact that there was a person that died and somebody needs to be charged. And if you think about it, like a few things I was kind of like, I don't know. Then after everyone spoke on Friday, I realized that it is marginally possible that Gabriel was hunched and that's how it went. The trajectory was what they said it was. I think that is possible. And if that is the case, then he should be found guilty for that. I think my biggest gripe was just I couldn't convict someone without a decent investigation. And with the investigation the way it was, that's just not possible for me. If they'd done a solid investigation, then I think that I would be more comfortable with a guilty verdict. So, Teresa, I think we spoke a lot about it while we were watching the trial. I think this is also something we have to consider. If we aren't just going to take Daniel at his word, we also need to scrutinize what Mr. Kelly said. Was there ever a shot? Don't know. Nobody can know. And that's reasonable doubt for me. Oh my goodness. I'm going to stop moving that light. I'm sorry if the lighting is terrible. I'm using my potato webcam. So I keep trying to shift my desk light, but it looks like it's going to fall over. So I don't want to do that. Although that would make an entertaining live. Yeah, I really want them to just drop it now, because for everyone to have to go through that again. Oh, and the other thing that made me so angry, Daniel sitting in the courtroom. They had to go to Mexico to interview him because he's so hard to get hold of. I was already angry that they managed to get him there to be on the stand. Not only did they get him there to be on the stand, he was there for the trial as well, which means they could, if they wanted to, bring him to the US and question him like they did for the trial. That made me so angry, like super, super angry. I'm kind of glad that this will be over on Monday, hopefully, if they're logical about it. Yeah, I don't even, I can't comment on the legalities, like what, like them getting a card to live there. I don't know. To me, it seems strange that someone that has crossed the border so many times and has drug charges, like that's a bit odd for me. Like I know it's very hard for me to get a visa to the US. And I have no priors. I haven't done anything wrong. I would have to jump through a lot of hoops. So I do find it weird. And I also think it's weird that they were so dead set on convicting Kelly that they would offer that because that feels like bribery. Like, that's a good point, Teresa. And that's what I was meaning, right? Like, it's not that he has been accused of crimes, it's that he's been convicted of crimes. That's strange. Like I was saying, it's hard for me to get a visa. And every time I have to apply for a visa to anywhere, I have to tick a bunch of boxes saying, I don't have any convictions. I'm not part of any groups. Haven't worked with this person. Haven't worked with that person. It's like, I did it on Sunday and it took me about 2, maybe 3 hours. It's really annoying me that there's a piece of hair here. Sorry. We did dancing and I just threw my hair up afterwards. So I think it's really strange. Really, really strange. On a positive note, my copyright strike got removed. And given the size of the company that struck me, I thought I was like when I asked Recovery Addict about it yesterday, and he said I should be prepared to go to court if it's like a big company. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't I can't do that. They're in either the UK or the US. And like, I don't want to fight for that. I just don't want to strike against my channel because I don't want to have to, like, that's when you have to continue to prove yourself constantly. Oh yeah, Steve, I don't mind because I posted it that I wanted, but it was when I was playing the Oscar that documentary. The company that made that documentary had like an automated strike. So they obviously have bots that are just combing to see if people are reposting it because of like piracy and that sort of thing. And so I had to fill out this form to say if I believe it is fair use and why I believe it's fair use. And I basically just said I transformed the content and I was commentating on it. I mean, my face was like literally half of the screen. They could see that I had transformed it. It was supposed to take 30 days and I got a reply. So it took about 24 hours, even less if you count business days. It took like 8 business hours. Yeah, I'm glad it got removed as well. And now I'm wondering, like, can I do part 2 or is that taking it a bit far? Like, is YouTube going to be like, cool, we just released the first one. Can you hold on? Because commentary is allowed. It's fair use. My face was there. I was pausing it. I was talking over it. It's completely fair use. But I mean, lawyer, gets strikes all the time. And you have to have a lot of kahunas to strike a lawyer. So I would, but you don't get like an agent. You don't get someone to talk to until you're monetized. And then even then it's like limited. I can't go to the company because YouTube kind of mediates. So you send the response to them and then they send it to the company and then the company responds to YouTube and then they send it back. But there's like, it's pretty confusing the way the tiers work, but I think I need to get to like 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours before I even get the first tier of being monetized, which is then like super chats and that sort of thing. And you don't get an agent until then. You're on your own. This is what they always used to say to us in radio. take a chance and do it, and then just say, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to. But if, like, in my mind, logically, if it was fair use the first time and I do it the same way the second time, a reasonable mind would then say it's fair use. Because if you found it fair the first time and I do the same thing, how is it unfair the second time? Can you tell I should have been a lawyer? I can literally argue everything to the last letter. Leave you more confused than when you when you came. So leave your camera going 24/7. I'll leave my YouTube on your channel and you can rack up the viewing hours. Oh my gosh, Teresa, that's so sweet. But I would be so scared of doing something that would get me struck. Put it that way. Nobody likes pants. Steve says, I'm sorry, Vaughan. I don't know if you're still in the chat. Did you bail?
No, I'm just listening quietly from the corner. It's funny.
He says he's just listening quietly from the corner. So my plan was not to go live now. I was just like, well, I might as well. But I wanted to set up that my phone can be the camera because I have a camera that I vlog with, but I can't connect this to that because I can't get the two to talk to each other. So I was going to connect my phone as the webcam so that it's not potato cam. And then at least if there was cats or something, you could see them and they weren't just blurs. I feel very sorry for the Kellys, though. I think they are going to have to sell up and move. With the sheriff's comments about vigilante behavior and all of that, how do you stay there? I mean, every time something happens, you're going to be viewed through that lens. Oh, that reminded me. I don't think he has children, Teresa. I haven't seen anything about children. That reminded me. Remember, if you were here on Saturday, I think Saturday, I said that if somebody is in court, I would probably believe that there was enough evidence for the charges to be brought against them. So you are kind of viewing them with a slightly guilty lens. That is so clear with the trial we're watching now, the Thurston County one. Like, do you believe he's innocent? Well, he's here, right? So there must be something. Like that is what I was bringing up with the jury system, because you are actually going, they wouldn't bring this case if there wasn't enough evidence. So you, like in AA, they always talk about, instead of looking for the differences, look for the similarities. You're basically starting off the slate with, well, they must have done something. There must be something that would bring a reasonable, that a reasonable mind would think was caseworthy. And then in that situation, if I said to you, I haven't seen yellow cars in so long, you're going to see yellow cars everywhere. If you're sitting in that room and you say, and you're looking at things through the potentially guilty lens, things will look different than if you were looking at it through the innocent lens. Like, if I landed up on trial, all of my searches, regardless of the fact that, this is my job, those would be like, why would she search that? That's weird. Meanwhile, we've all searched things like that in the true crime community. Exactly, Steve. And like, to kind of sidetrack from the true crime stuff, I think that's what like a lot of the law of attraction is banking on, is like your brain sees those things. You're gonna see it. If I tell you that, like, let's look at Brian Koberger. He is studying criminology. It is not strange for him to research crime. It is not. He is studying it. He's writing a thesis on it. He's got to interview. He's got to research. That's what he's got to do. But when it's brought to the courtroom, all of a sudden it's like, why would he do that? That's a weird thing for him to do, because you're looking at it, you're seeing the yellow car. You're literally viewing it through that lens, when you probably wouldn't have noticed that with any other criminology student. I feel like I'm in a ranty mood. I'm sorry. I should have done breathing exercises first. I think it's just because like I got frustrated with this all day, and then I just decided like 200 characters is not enough. I need to just raw. I also didn't do a thumbnail because I was jumping in like cold. I've often thought if anything happens to me, who will delete my browser history? Yeah, you see? Rabbit trials and ADHD pause. Because your browser history, even if you delete everything, they're going to bring it in through Solbright. It's going to look worse. It's going to look like you're hiding it, because you're not looking at it like the normal person deletes their browser history so they don't look weird. You're going to be like, what are they hiding? The police made a report and the DA thinks it will be an easy conviction. Well, yeah, so that's exactly what I was meaning though. They're looking at it. They're looking to find the similarities, not the differences. They're looking to find guilt. And they should be looking to find innocence. Or they should be looking to find answers. So neither. Can you tell my meds have worn off for the day? Give me 1 sec. I want to plug in my on-air sign. Frank needs a live stream. Oh, I look so cute. I can't even turn my camera. If I didn't have my mic attached, I'd just pick my laptop up and carry it, but the mic really does make a difference. And now the on-air sign looks weird anyway because of potato cam. Yeah, anyway, I will be so glad to see the back of this trial. And then we're going to have to do it all over again with Tucker, who just also hung jury, mistrial. Teresa, technically they could, as far as I know, they could fine tune their questions and they could work with the witnesses. They obviously can't change the answers, but they could prep them better. However, a lot of it's too late now. And that's kind of what is very frustrating, is they should have thought of all the holes in the investigation before it got to this point. So they need to do what makes themselves look strongest. One of the things being, the sheriff popping over to Mexico and doing his interview there. The prosecution should have said, I can't use this. You need to get him here. They could go out to the Kelly Ranch to find the spent casing, but how do they prove it's that one? Because, well, I suppose if he's on trial, they probably would have taken all the weapons. And if they did take all the weapons, then I wonder how safe they feel on the farm. That's like, ugh, that makes me feel. And I'm not a weapons person, but if that's what makes them feel safe and they all got taken away, that must be a very scary feeling. And also because I went into this being pro prosecution at the time, they flipped me. Genuinely. I feel like we've just had 2 incredibly frustrating trials back to back. Tucker filed a few more ducks the other day. I was on his Facebook earlier and so he was ranting and raving about stuff. He upsets me so much. I just want him to win. IA on Penny Phelps. Okay, cool. I wanted him to bring her in somehow. Unconditional guilty plea and a motion brought by the Bar Association against Colleen Dunn and Moore. Colleen Dunn was the district attorney who worked with Penny Phelps to get this whole thing in motion. And I think he filed these in the first round and they were dismissed by Eeyore judge. People are still donating to the Kellys crowdfunding. Well, if they have to do it round 2, then he's still paying for the lawyers on Monday. Yeah, but with Tucker, Tucker, that man stresses me out so much. Yeah, Steve, like if you went into his first trial blind, you don't even want to go digging for all the stuff that happened after, like, from his arrest. If you thought the Kellys' whole sheriff investigation was bad, Tucker's was on a whole other level. And then you've got the same district attorney, the same police captain, and you have to presume that the judge would have worked with the two of them. At first, I thought he was just a conspiracy theorist, the world is out to get me. I still believed that he wasn't guilty, but I thought that he was maybe a little bit of like I don't know, what do you call the conspiracy theorists who like, a skeptic, kind of. I thought he was maybe just like one of those people that like will find a conspiracy in anything. And then I started looking and I was like, wait, I see a conspiracy too. And I feel I'm pretty objective and pretty level-headed. And then everything, Teresa, it's Franklin Tyrone Tucker, Treehouse murder trial. You should go back and watch it if you haven't seen it. Take 2 is going to be intense. I feel like now that he got what he needed, a new time with Pro Se, he should really go into the next one. I want him to have an attorney, and I have said it in his lives. At one stage, I think I messaged Lauren or something. I don't know. He needs to have an attorney. He's proven his point, but by this point, his ego is getting in the way. Even what he's sharing online, he's like, these people found me innocent, sharing all of that. Like, he's got an amazing case. His case is so strong. He said he didn't have a lawyer last time because it needed to get eyes. Okay, it's got eyes. We all saw the judge is questionable. We've seen that. This time, he needs to be doing it to win the case. What is it? Fight the battle, lose the war. Is that what it goes? Fight the battle, lose the battle to win the war. I think he needs to just let it go. We've seen all of the corruption that he's saying. We've seen it. A good attorney would be able to bring that in, and they're not going to get disbarred because it would be illegal, I'm sure, to take an attorney off for doing what they're supposed to do. State's attorney, people who give you a really weird, like, gut feeling that, like, they make you feel icky. I don't know what it is, but I can't even remember his name. The main guy, the taller one, the big guy. I would dig into him, but I don't even know where to look. But there is another case of a business owner who shot a guy who was having a wee or something. Same prosecutor, same judge. The guy was asking for and there's the same lawyer as Tucker was going to use, I think, who was advising him. And the judge and the prosecutor didn't want a gag order this time because it's looking more favorable to them because this guy's getting raked through the coals in the local community. Exactly. And this was the thing. He got the eyes. He did very well. He did well. For a pro sayer, I was incredibly proud of him. He frustrates me, but he's kind of like, you know, those friends where you're like, I don't want to say you have so much potential because that's what people said to me pre-diagnosis all the time. But where you can tell them a million times what the best idea is and they will still choose to do their own thing. And you're like, you're so frustrating. Like, I don't want to have to watch you make this mistake. That is how I feel about Tucker. Like, would I grab a drink with the guy? No. But he does have a good case. He can win. He just needs to let his ego step aside. He needs to do the things the right way. He needs to respect the court. Sounds like talking to my kids. Like, it's and I defended him because people were saying he's a narcissist and he's this and he's that and he's that, and I was like, I don't think he is. I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist. I do know that he has trouble socializing, and when he explained it, I understood it. He's been in jail for a little bit, and then he's been on house arrest. He doesn't deal with people. That makes sense. That's it. Joseph Mansfield, prosecuting attorney. Something when I did dig into him a little bit, that's when I found that other Key West one. But yeah, Tucker's whole thing of like not being able to be around people, I get it. Essentially for him, he feels like what we all did when lockdown was lifted. It's weird peopling. It is really weird. Like you can email people and chat to people all the time, but it's a different thing to be talking to in-person humans and having to come across in a favorable way. That's also why I want him to get a lawyer, because he has a long way to go with winning the hearts. Like, he comes across very arrogant and egotistical, even when he's not meaning to. And I think that if somebody could tell his story better, he would do very well. And I don't know if the numbers that Mansfield made up, because I think Mansfield said it was like 11 guilty, 1 not guilty. I don't know. I don't think I believe a single thing he says. But if that is the case, 11 people to 1, you got to change something. It was weird going back to the crowd. It was weird going back to people, even like quiet. Like I had to work during lockdown because that's when I was like doing full journalism mode. I was doing radio and I was doing TV. So I was still around people all the time, and I was around people that were getting sick all the time. And it was weird. It was weird going into the shops. And now this guy has to, like he said, he has to email to take his trash out. That people don't know how to like he's emailing. He's not talking. I think Tucker was part of the wealthy crowd that went native in Key West, turning back on his normies. I think I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Like he decided to go like scale down to being the dude who lives in the warehouse, or what do you mean? Because it did seem like they were pretty well off. Oh yeah, Steve, got you. Teresa, me too. Like I enjoyed lockdown. My mom was living next door. Just so happened that the person that I lived next door to was going to move in with her boyfriend and needed someone to cat sit. So my mom moved in next door. We were in a different house. And it was so nice because I like people staying in their bubbles. I get so stressed when family has to travel. He had money before going to Key West. Yeah, and then he went to help with the roofing and he was making good cash. But his fiance said that he her wording was quite strange. She said to me like he likes the simple life. He chooses to live the simple life. It was something along those lines. Like he wasn't living on a boat because of money. He liked that. And I remember when she said it, I kind of thought, okay, well, if he already liked solitude, then his socialization skills aren't going to get better while he's under house arrest and having to email to take his trash out. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think so. I used to do live TV and I used to do hair and makeup, and it was a tiny, tiny news channel. I used to do all of that, and then I don't care anymore, to be honest. And this camera is such a potato camera anyway. Um, Even if like I have blemishes here, you can't see them because the camera's so bad. Supposedly saving to buy another boat. I don't know if I believed him on that. What I will say is that Travis happened to go through a lot of cash. There's the timer, the cat's meds timer. Travis seemed to blow through a lot of cash in like a day and no answer to where that went. I think Travis is the one that needs to be looked into.
Everything's up in smoke.
Went up in smoke. I don't think I could blow $2,500 in a day. In fact,
Maybe in London.
that would be a car here. That would be a car. He spent a car's worth of money in a day. Hey, is it Curville or Curville? That sounded the same. Yeah, Teresa, I highly recommend you watch Treehouse. I think Recovery Addict has a playlist. Let me see if I can share. Let's see, playlists. Bad Apple, beer. Treehouse, he does have a playlist. I'm going to share this into chat. Curviel. Hey, I got it. And also, Steve, the hair. Travis had that same like pulled back hair thing, and Tucker was bald. Or I'm pretty sure one of the Travis didn't have facial hair. Tucker had a long beard. There were two things. There was the hair and there was the facial hair and there was the head hair. Those two, Todd O'Quinn, who will be testifying in this trial, he mentioned it a bunch of times. But I did enjoy the case. Also, I got a dash in like a minute or two. I'm just hearing the one that needs the meds crunching food. So if I do this. Ah, my canvas is in the way. There's a tail. What ails your cat? Oh, shame. She's a little munchkin. And so we actually found her on the road. And we thought that somebody had lost her because she's like a pedigree cat. She's a Munchkin Norwegian forest cat, we think. So because she's Munchkin, her little legs give her issues. So we have to give her a like a painkiller of sorts for that. Yes, I do paint. I actually painted a picture last night while I was listening to Recovery Addict for my office, which is like behind me, so that I can live stream in there with a background that's a little bit more appealing. It's still a bare wall because I had every intention to put wallpaper up and I just never did. So I painted one quickly yesterday and it's kind of like this style. I painted this as well. But this was a big one. Yeah, curvy. I mean, I once looked up, I could like buy one like her for 250 US dollars, I think. Oh, shame. Pyrenees and picnics. Thanks, Steve. That's not one of my favorites, but other people seem to love it. There's a few more of mine there. I painted that and that and that and that. Teresa, I'm not actually sure. Yeah, Curviel, she chose us, and the funny thing is, it's not me. She chose Vaughn. So I saw her and I was like, we cannot leave this cat. It's a main road. Like if you Google Winchester Mansions on Beach Road in Sea Point, it's like we saw it at a hotel. We were at the bar having drinks, and that's a main road. And she was like eating rubbish on the floor. I felt so bad. So we already had 2 rescues that were less than 6 months old. And we decided we'll take her home. We'll just check for her chip and see like if she has an owner, make sure she's safe. And then took her to the vet. She had no chip, posted on local pages. No one came forward. And eventually we're like, listen, we're going to have to snip and chip. And she is Vaughn's cat through and through. She literally brings him like dinner every single night. She's probably gone to the door to see where he's gone. And we suspect that someone let her out because she barks like a dog, like a demon dog. She goes like, "Arr!" You know, like Lilo and Stitch? That's what she sounds like. She's not in the mood. She's probably like, I'm not coming because it's medicine time. My dog's name is Truck. That's so cute. Curvial, exactly. New servants. She is spoiled. Her name is Winchester. Then my cat, who thinks that I actually birthed her, her name is Phoebe, like Phoebe Buffet. And then her brother is Frank, like Frank Jr. Jr. And I don't know where any of them are right now, except Frank is sitting on the couch angry because his human is not in the house. I thought I could quickly get the small one on camera and then hop off. I was going to grab Winchester, but I think she's looking for you. Yeah, anyway, I should probably...
She's there on the.
Oh, she's staring out the window. Shame, they're all indoor cats and sometimes they just want to watch the world go by. They're very happy though. Okay. Are you going to try get her, yeah?
Looking at me like she was lost. So.
I tried to call her as if it's food time so that I could show her little face because I only got her butt in the camera. I'll tell you one thing. Unbelievably smart, like on another level. I have to give her the medicine in a syringe and she pulls the syringe. Look at that. I mean, who lets this out of the house? She is the cutest cat. Like, sometimes we look at her and we're just like, how? She's so cute. Like, cute aggression level 5,000. How can you be so cute? You're so cute. I know. She's ridiculously cute. It's actually insane. And she's tiny. I mean, she's heavy, but she's tiny. Okay. So, she thinks it's medicine time. Shame. Probably because it is. All right. I better go before she scratches my face off. Because she's cute, but she's feisty. Okay, I'm going to put you down. Anyway, thank you for hanging out. Short one, but I wanted to have a little ranty rant. She wants to pet you. Yeah, with her claws and my eyeballs. She's not a kind petter. She will literally. Yeah. I will jump on again soon though. Probably go back to the Oscar trial. Steve, I'm not sure because it's still an hour until that, and it's 20 to 10 now, and I've got to take my sleeping tablet at before 11. So I probably will be on rewatch crew for Thurston, which is a pity because it's my favorite. I love that court so much. Really, it's like, it is such a joke. I love it. I absolutely. And also, I'm finding it hard not to watch it on 2x speed because they are like the sloths in Zootopia. Literally. Like, and Travis, what did you do next? Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon after I've finished working, most likely, for whatever's next. Kirby, like Brother's Testimony, I had it on 2x speed, and I went back to check that I wasn't on normal speed because he was so slow. Josh, seriously, like I wish YouTube would just up it a bit. Anyway, let me not get distracted. It's painful, but I also added one little thing to the thumbnail, so I wanted to like add more, but I just don't have the attention span. I'll see you guys tomorrow before I rabbit hole into another conversation. Thank you. Bye.